Good morning and welcome to Morning Soul. Today I wanted to check in on everyone because this week has been a lot. I don't know if anyone else is feeling it. If you are, you can private message me or comment below. But did anyone else notice or have been noticing a lot of things happening that make you feel a certain way? That make you feel uneasy, unworthy, out of control, like you can't control everything. A lot of self-doubt coming up. We're being asked to look at the stories that have been playing in the background for a really long time. And these are probably stories that you are fully aware of, that you thought you worked through, and this is just another layer of it. How much can you trust yourself? How much can you believe in yourself? And how much can you let go of these old stories? That's something that Meredith said to me. It was last night. I was thinking yesterday was a different day for me. There was things that I couldn't do because of a power outage, and I was getting really frustrated. And I kept asking Meredith, I'm like, what do I do? She's like, can you let go? And I realized how difficult that is, especially when you don't like what's happening or things are out of your control. How hard can you let go? How much can you let go? How much can you trust in divine timing and that everything's happening exactly the way it's supposed to? So yesterday was a big test for me because there was a lot I wanted to do and I couldn't do due to the power outage and trying to conserve my phone battery and things that I needed to do for my son that I couldn't because of no power. And I realized how much negative stories come up and excuses come up and frustration comes up when something that's out of my control happens and something that affects many things happens. And it was a huge test for me yesterday on letting go of control, and that if something is not meant to happen yet, it's not going to. That if you're not supposed to do something and something is happening that stops you from doing it, you kind of have to listen and to adjust your sails. Rather than stomping your feet and getting mad, where can you see that everything's happening exactly the way it's supposed to? And what is it calling you to do? And a lot of times it's to trust and let go. And me and Stone were invited to have dinner with my dad and his girlfriend last night. And on the drive up, Meredith gave me this idea. She's like, can you look at and play this little game with Stone on everything that happened everything good that happened today, despite not being able to do what you wanted to do and needed to do. And on the way up to dinner, I brought up the game to Stone, and we both picked out many, many things that was good that happened yesterday. That there was a lot of great things and blessings that happened yesterday, despite the crap that that came up. And then I realized, I'm like, wow, I really allowed myself to go through the shit of it because my brain was like, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, now this is gonna happen, and now you're falling behind, and this is gonna happen. I allowed for a good amount of time yesterday to jump in the negative, to get frustrated, rather than seeing that there was a lot of great things that happened yesterday because of the power outage, because of not being able to do what I originally planned to do. I got to do a lot of great things and experience new things and let go of control. And it wasn't easy. And I know for a lot of us, it's hard to let go of control when something's not happening your way. And I noticed this week also the ruminating, the stories that are coming up that don't help at all. And so if you're experiencing that this week, where you're like, wow, I feel like shit. Wow, why am I doing this? Why am I not doing this? How can I get control? How can I, control the situation? Let go. And notice when something that's happening that makes you feel like crap, or you feel like you're not worthy or enough, or you can't do something, or you're not successful at all. Watch the stories. That's where the gems are when shit hits the fan or things that happen that are out of your control. What are the first thoughts that come up? And how can you, she said tackle them, but it's almost like instead of thinking I have to get rid of this, how can I work with this? So if something happened this week that made you feel less than, okay, well now I need to shore myself up. Just because something outside of my control happened doesn't mean that I'm not worthy or enough. Or is it pushing you to put more boundaries up? Or is it pushing you to go after what you really want? And is it happening for your greater good? Is it happening to show you what your intentions are behind something. You know, there's a lot coming up right now, and as much as it's frustrating, can we see the gift in it? Can we see the good in it? Can we see what it brought to our attention that we need to work through? And that's the message that she wanted me to have with you guys today, whoever feels called to watch this and resonate with this. Where are you being asked to let go and go with the flow of things? And if something's not happening the way you want it to or when you want it to, you got to trust that the roadblocks right now are showing you where you need to show yourself up, or maybe it's just not time yet, you know? And where can we let go of this need to constantly feel like we're doing something? That what if we're supposed to have an easy day? What if we're supposed to go do something else, and the only way that was going to happen is if a roadblock came up to stop you from doing what you weren't supposed to do at the time? We have to look deeper, and it's not to override what's coming up. It's to show you how to ride the wave. Where is the universe, God, source, creator asking you to let go more and trust more? And what do you need to do for yourself? Is it shoring yourself up? Is it letting go of control? Is it going with the flow more? And why is it we always have to do something all the time? She said, this is about self-reflection. What can you do to ride the waves? And what is it bringing up for you? It is not a punishment, she said. And at times, it shows you if you've been in a negative spiral for a long time, or if you're constantly not paying attention, being present, something that catches you off guard brings you back to the present very quickly. And it shows you, do you trust yourself? Do you trust the process? Do you trust in divine timing? And can you go with the flow and let go? And that's really hard for a lot of us, is letting go, especially with this need to constantly feel enough. Can you feel enough in the nothingness? Can you feel enough in the now? Can you feel enough in the quiet? Can you feel enough in the resting? Because we don't allow ourselves to rest at times. And we keep worrying about judgment and are we falling behind? She said, what race are you in? Who told you, she said, and she's saying this to me as well, who told you, hey, the moment you take your first breath, this is the race that you're going to be in. And if you don't succeed and you don't do all that you want to do, or all that you feel called to do, or all that you quote unquote supposed to do, well, then you're a piece of shit. She said, that does not make any sense at all. And she always likes to remind me too, at times, like babies, you know, we can't say there's timelines for certain babies to hit certain milestones, but if your baby doesn't hit a certain milestone, you don't call it a piece of shit. You love on him or her, you trust the process, you encourage them, and you allow them to rest where they need to rest. If they're not walking at a certain age, who cares? If they're not standing up at a certain age, okay. And maybe you need to look into that, they said, but you don't call the child a piece of shit. And if they're sleeping, you're like, oh my God, thank goodness they need rest. But when we do it, we're a piece of shit. We're not good enough. We're falling behind. We have to stop the rat race, she said, and be so gentle with yourself. There's a lot going on, and there's always a lot going on. But we're being pushed to look at our patterns. We're being pushed to see where we are pushing ourselves because we feel like we're not good enough. And she said, that's not to say not to stop old habits or habits that hurt you or self-sabotage. She's saying is, can you recognize the pattern? And can you be gentle with yourself and look deeper? Where are you being called to rest? Where are you being called to watch what you're doing? Where are you being called to be present? Where are you being called to readjust and redirect your energy and your focus, especially about yourself? If you're doing things because you need to feel in control or successful or good enough, then you're doing it from a place of lack and not from a place of, I trust myself and love myself. So she said, if there's a traffic jam that you cannot control, can you allow yourself to enjoy the moment? Maybe you're not supposed to get to the next stop yet. Maybe you're being protected by something or from something. What if you're meant to be in that moment and take a breather and put on your favorite music, or look at the next driver and be like, hey, look at this shit. You know, you're not alone in the pause. Where can you adjust your focus? And that's how you ride the wave gracefully, and you learn more about yourself. You learn that you can love yourself more, that you're capable of more, that it's okay to slow down in a world that's constantly telling us to go, 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 and focus, 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 look over here, look over there. Take your power back. Your power is in your focus. And she said, can you see all the distractions right now? They're asking you to look over here and look over there and feel like shit and do this and eat this and you're not good enough, you don't look like this. Where can you bring yourself back? and say, you know, right here, right now, I'm important. There's no meter telling me that I'm good enough if I don't do, or if I do this or don't do that. They said there's a psychological story, but there's nothing physically saying that you're not good enough. It is all in the mind. And if we can see that we can deprogram that story that was given to us at some point and realize, wow, I am an amazing person. I am here for a reason. I bring value to people's lives. I am good enough to breathe this air and take up space. I don't have to apologize for who I am. I don't have to dim myself and play small to make someone else or other people feel safe. If I want to hold more space and do bigger things, then I allow myself to. But make sure your intentions are in a good place. Don't do it to prove something. Do it because you're feeling called to do it. And if your body's asking for rest, rest. And if you're not listening to your body, it's going to pick it for you, they said. Whether that's through illness, injury, absolute exhaustion, panic and anxiety, or stress, your body is screaming at you to listen. So instead of picking up a screen or looking at another screen, or constantly distracting yourself with something, they said mostly a majority of it is screens and the to-do list. Can you come back here and ask yourself, okay, what am I being called to do? Is it to be kinder to myself? Is it to slow down? Is it to take a rest day? Is it to say no to something? Is it to say yes to something? Listen. You have to go deeper. And the only way you can go deeper is if you listen. You cannot go deeper while running a mile ahead in a direction that you have no idea is leading you to because you're not listening, they said. So if you're finding yourself constantly being pushed back, or things are slowing you down, or things are happening, and you're like, what the hell is this telling me? They said, listen. You pause. You slow down. You don't keep racing in a direction that's giving you warning signs or asking you, hey, pump the brakes for a little bit. You're missing something. And it's not because you're not good enough, they said. It's because you are worthy of catching the flaws. You're worthy to catch the patterns. You're worthy to fix what is breaking you, she said. You are worthy of that. And the only way you can work through it is if it's being brought to your attention over and over and over again, especially if you're not listening. So what are you being called to look at? And how can you work through that? She said, there is a blessing in the disguise. There's a blessing in this hard time. There's a blessing in the reoccurring stories. There is a blessing that's constantly being reflected to you of you're not listening to yourself. You're not listening to, especially if it's a negative story. Are you listening to the negative story that you're constantly repeating to yourself that's been playing in the background for God knows how long? And now it's hurting you because you're not making the decisions or the choices that reflect your worth. You're making decisions and choices reflected on your lack of worth of, I need to feel validated. I need to feel good enough. And if I keep chasing this thing, well, then I'm good enough. And she said, when has that ever worked? When has it ever worked that you're constantly looking outside of yourself for validation of I am enough? When are you going to look at the mirror, she said, and see it in your face that I'm enough right now, despite the mistakes, despite the decisions I made or not the decisions I made, I'm enough. And I know that previous version of me that I'm working through right now is because she or he didn't trust themselves or love themselves enough. And now I'm reflecting back of, wow, I've grown so much that now I can see the shit that's happening that's asking me to look at deeper in myself because I'm worthy of it. And my soul is calling me to do that. My soul is asking me to love myself more. It's asking me to be trusting of myself more and be true to myself. So if there's something that you're doing or you're not doing, and she keeps pushing, it could be either something you should be doing or you are doing that's hurting you and it's making you mad. Good, she said. That's great. Now you can see what you need to work on. Because your soul is ready to look at it. Your soul is ready to face it. And you have something huge coming, she said. That if you keep hanging on to these habits, patterns, and stories, you're going to fuck it up for yourself or miss it. And she said, not miss it like you're never going to have it, but like, let's just say an amazing opportunity is coming. But you feel so self-conscious. You're not having the conversations that you should be having. You're not doing the opportunities that you should be doing to get there because you keep thinking, I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. I'm going to hide and hide and hide. Okay, but it's blaring you in the face. So if you look through the veil of fear and say, okay, this is holding me back from seeing this opportunity here or this growing opportunity here or this new job, this new relationship or a deeper part of me, let me look through the fear. So I can clearly see what I could have missed if I didn't work through my shit right now. That is the blessing, she said. You need to reroute your mindset. You need to look at yourself deeper. And whenever you catch yourself in those patterns or habits or disguising yourself in self-sabotage or distractions, the fact that you're aware of that is amazing, she said. Kudos to you. Now let's go deeper, she said. That is the message for today. And if you feel like you don't know where to go, or you're not sure how to handle this, or you're not sure where to go, or if you see the signs and messages, but you clearly cannot figure out what they're trying to tell you or what the next step is, I would love to help you. I would love to help you because we need each other. And I know I said that in the previous video, but we do need each other. Okay? We always do. So stop trying to play lone wolf survivor, she said, and get on with your shit, whether that's therapy, spiritual guidance, whatever you feel called to do to bring you out of this little image, she said, that you think you're in. Do it, okay? There's no reason to procrastinate the betterment. All right? I love you very much. Have a good day. Bye.